Hello guys, my name is Ray E. I'm the host of the Ray E Experience podcast, and today I'm here with our guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Tiffany Kim from 12th grade.
Yeah, so Tiffany, she's my classmate, and I've known for a year. I've known her for a year now, and I invited her to the podcast today to talk about women's right, from a female's perspective, and she's the only female in our class. So yeah, I'm really excited to hear about her answers to the questions, and also um, excited to have discussion sessions with her. Yeah, so the first question I want to ask you about is
Yes.
like as a young woman, like how do you feel when you hear that? Oh, so basically, just to give a little context, so I'm talking about the issue of. What are you trying? You're not crying, right?
No.
I'm just trying to just to give a brief context. I'm doing a project where I talk about the issues of women's rights for education for the girls in Afghanistan. So yeah, the question is, as a young woman, how do you feel when you hear that the Afghan girls are banned from attending school? Maybe from your perspective, what do you think?
I think I feel very bad for them because since I'm like most of the developing countries, including Afghanistan, is really suffering from education, and most of the primary educated gender are mostly men. So the fact that girls cannot get these similar like education, like they cannot be in the similar education level with men, I think that kind of upsets me when I talk in a woman's perspective.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay, thank you. Next question is, how does your experience as a student, especially as a girl or someone who studies, as a girl, shape the way you view your education? Maybe you could talk about, maybe, like, cause in our school, like, you don't really feel that difference between us and you, like, because of the gender, right?
Yeah.
You don't feel that difference, so
Yeah.
maybe you could talk about how you feel right now.
Me right now?
Yeah, about like your own experience as a student, maybe as a girl in our class,
Ah.
maybe the only girl in our classroom. Yeah.
I think I feel like very good. Like there's no issues in like studying or like getting education from the school, but I'm sure that the girls in Afghanistan that are banned from attending school, like they would not be able to feel the same as me. So yeah. But I think like overall our school really like respects and protects girls in general. So I think I'm very studying in a very comfortable environment.
Yeah, I think it's also very important for us to think that we don't have to really discriminate people based on gender. Like, I think um, there might be like some people who have stereotypes, maybe like, oh, maybe like girls, they just belong in the kitchen or something like that. Like, they might say something like that, but then
Okay.
they might say something like that. It's not from my words, but then
Okay.
they might say something like that. Like, I think it doesn't really make sense. Like, women, they can also work, they could do whatever they want, and men, they can also do whatever they want, or men, they can also like cook in the kitchen. It doesn't have to be just women. Like,
Yeah,
I think,
sure.
yeah. So that's an important fact we need to, yeah, note on. And third question I want to ask you is, if you imagine yourself like as an Afghan girl in the country,
Yeah.
like who is not allowed to study, how would you feel? Maybe you could go into their shoes and think about it.
I feel like I would feel very intimidated. But first of all, I feel like if like one of my if I had a sibling, like for example a sister who's older, or like my friends that are older that are not like attending school at all, like I think I wouldn't be able to even imagine a girl in Afghanistan as a girl in Afghanistan to even like think of going to school, to be honest.
Mm.
And like that's the first imagine that I could think of. But like if I knew the fact that other boys go but like no girls go, I feel like I don't know. I think I'll feel very intimidated and like very upset about the fact that I cannot get educated. And like since most of the developing countries have issues in gender equality, I think when seen in those perspective, yeah, I would feel very upset about the fact that men are getting educated, but and I feel like I would also want to get educated, obviously,
Mm.
because I would want to read and write stuff. I would want to like do something
Mm.
related to studying, but the fact that it's banned from like the country, I think that's like very making that would make me so mad. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I think very unfortunate for situation in that country.
Yeah.
Oh, like we're blessed to have education. Like we're applying to colleges, right?
Yeah.
So like not done them not even being able to have that opportunity to apply to colleges, get education, like basic education,
Yeah.
like it's very like tragic, and I think yeah, it just shows how unfair the world is and
Yeah.
how blessed I am to
For
be able to
sure.
live in this place. And like next question I want to ask you is, why do you think education is seen as such threat that it gets restricted for millions of Afghan girls? Because like the context is like the terrorists in Afghanistan, they intentionally blocked the education, like you might
Yeah.
know. But why do you think education is served as a main threat?
So like again, most of the developing countries have issues with like women staying in the kitchen, like women staying inside the house and men's like working outside the house or something like that. And I think it kind of connects to that um, general thought or like I don't know like stereotype that I have, but I think they're kind of scared of like the whole stereotype changing because like when we get educated then we will obviously start to like raise our voices and like they're I think they're scared of like women's even like having their own thoughts and like own power of like going against men's or like going against the ruling I don't know like level or something. Yeah.
I think maybe like education itself is seen as a powerful tool for the perspective of the terrorists, like who
Yeah.
ban the education, because like through education we can achieve many things. And I feel like education really serves as a foundation for everything. Maybe with the power of education they're able to advocate for their rights, but then many girls in Afghanistan, they're not able to get educated, so they're just stuck in this situation, and only the people who are educated are able to stand up for themselves. So
Yeah.
I think restricting education makes the situation worse. So as
Yeah.
you said, yeah, to also referring to the stereotypes. And fifth question is, what meaningful actions do you think maybe students around the world can take to support the girls' education?
So I feel like first of all we need like some I don't know like I think there should be some kind of organizations that can obviously like directly support Afghanistan girls because um, once I think the organization called UNICEF, I think
Mm.
all people know UNICEF. They had an issue with like the internal like money going issue because
Mm.
like all the like like I don't know like higher level person like higher position person like they were like just stealing money the from like all the money that they collected from all over the world. So I feel like we need like a direct source that we can actually like give like directionally give support to the Afghanistan girls, and also we should like raise our awareness
Mm.
that Afghanistan girls are not getting educated like at all or like as not much as the boys or something because I feel like Afghanistan is not in like the main part of the awareness when it comes to developing countries because like Somalia
Yeah,
or
yeah.
like other African places or like East Asian places. I think that's the main point when it comes to like supporting places, and I feel like Afghanistan should definitely be one of the main point when it comes to like making those like organizations or like supporting like developing countries. Yeah, I think there are some issues about that, so I think it would be better if we can like raise in the awareness to like support the girls in Afghanistan.
Mm. I think it's also important to just genuinely care about them. Like, even though they're like students from different countries, they're also humans, and um, they all dream of like being able to study in a school, get educated. So being able to genuinely care for them, and as you said, as you mentioned like supporting the organizations that help fund the education, maybe in the girls in Afghanistan or in other parts of the region, and also making Afghanistan a country a country of like I guess a main focus of supporting, like it could really also help too.
Yeah.
Last question is, before we move on to discussion, is if you could speak directly to like one Afghan girl who were banned from school, what would you maybe say to them, like message?
I think this is kind of tough for me because like I cannot really relate to them,
Mm.
but I feel like um, I don't know. I would really just like rather than like just saying some kind of like a short message,
Mm.
I would really just rather want to like teach them in one on one. Like if I
Mm.
have one message to give to any Afghanistan girls, then it should be like just I don't know, fight for yourself, I guess, because I just know that Afghanistan girls have much more to care about other than education too. So
Mm.
like for the girls who like really want to get educated and like aspiring to like go to college or like school, like I feel like we should just like you should just like stay safe and like fight for yourself until you get the opportunity. Yeah, and like I don't know, like stay safe, I guess, because I know that Afghanistan is overall not a very safe country.
Mm. Yeah, thank you for your message to the people. And the discussion question is more of like a debate, so we can
Okay.
like agree or disagree. So
Okay.
the first question is, so students like individuals they can make a difference, or like individuals can't do too much. So I'm asking this as a context of like maybe because I'm doing this podcast to trying to maybe raise awareness as well as like influence others.
Yeah.
So do you think like individuals like they can make an impact or they can't do anything?
So obviously, this is like 50-50 because individuals can start the impact, but to make the impact even bigger and like more effective, then it has to be like a group. It will have to grow. So like starting from an individual, it can make a change. Like I would make like the starting of the change is possible, but like ultimate change, then it has to be like a group because ain't no way that just one student is going to like change the whole world. I mean, you can start it, but you will have to influence a lot of people to like actually change the whole world. Yeah.
I think it's also limited for an individual to try to really make a big change. I think it's to that limit where, like, as you said, like trying to make a big change in the world. I think it's very limited for that one individual to do it. Like, of course, like as you mentioned, he can start. He can have one like heart to change it, but then it's very difficult for that person to be able to make a larger change to a larger audience. So
Right.
yeah. Last discussion question I have for today is: do you agree that education is most powerful tool for achieving peace and justice in this world?
Yes, I think I actually agree with that because um, education is so important. I just realized that education is so important. Like education can mean in so many ways, and especially in achieving peace and justice, also because you have to get educated to know anything that's happening in the world, right? So you have to like know history, you have to know social science, and you even have to know like science to like just to like realize what's happening in the real world. And when it comes to the context of like achieving peace and justice, if you want to achieve peace and justice, then you have to know what's happening in the world right now, right? And like what happened in the world in the past, like you have to know the history. But if you don't get educated, then you won't be able to know what's happening right now or what happened in the past. So yeah, I think education is most effective because like I mean you can know what's happening in the world, I guess, like currently by I don't know, like watching news or like reading the books. But if you don't get educated, like you don't know like vocabs or something, so you cannot read books or like newspapers. So yeah, education will be the primary source and the most powerful tool to achieve peace and justice, in my opinion.
I also think that education is very important because like we're able to we're able to speak in English, like being able to make an impact through education. And I think society is nowadays like without education people don't really listen to the person too much. So being able to make an influence requires basic education, basic knowledge, a good understanding of the things. And I think education really serves as a foundation for everything that you're going to do. If it's not, even if it's like just basic work, like education is really required. And education I think can also be helpful for achieving peace and justice. And I think that is also why it's important for the Afghan girls to be able to get the education. So
For sure.
yeah, so yeah, so that was all I prepared for today.
Okay.
How'd you feel today?
I don't know. I just feel really bad for the Afghanistan girls because, to be honest, I don't think I really also cared about Afghanistan girls, and because like other country issues are like too big. I feel like right now, so I couldn't even think about Afghanistan girls in general. But I think it was a great time to like know what's happening and like to like talk about it in my perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I also enjoyed hearing Tiffany's opinion, like especially like female guests, so maybe wanted to hear her perspective more. And yeah, I think it was a great opportunity for me too. And yeah, that's all I have for today. And yeah, see you in the next episode.
Bye.